6'8" builds are starting to take over in 2K25. For this build, we'll be at shooting guard. Obviously, we'll be 6'8", 191 pounds with a 7'4" wingspan. This build is more of a small forward. We have the position set to shooting guard because 2K is weird, and in the rec, they're probably going to put you at small forward all the time, even though you're at shooting guard. But even if you are put at shooting guard, doesn't make a big difference. Now we're going for the fun factor on this build. This build is going to be extremely athletic, and you are going to have a 99 dunk on this build. So we're putting our driving dunk up to a 94, and we're using 5 cap breakers to get it up to a 99. Obviously, if we put our driving dunk up to a 99 without using cap breakers, it would severely limit the rest of our build. But I know not everyone has cap breakers yet, so I'll have a version of this build without cap breakers for you guys in this video. Just check the timestamps below. But with a 99 driving dunk, you are going to get legend posterizer. You're going to get all the best dunk packages in the game. You're going to get elite contact dunks. But in order to get that, you also need a 90 vertical. Now, getting to a 90 vertical is pretty expensive, which is why I have the vertical here at an 89. And then we're going to use one more cap breaker here to get it up to a 90. That way we can unlock all of those things I just mentioned. And then we're going to go back up to our finishing. And since putting our driving dunk at a 94 gets us a 74 layup, we're going to bump it up to a 75. That way we unlock layup mixmaster on bronze. Now, since you have a 99 driving dunk, people are going to see that and they're going to want to sag off of you. So we want to make sure we have some shooting on this build. So our mid-range shot is going to be an 85, which is just enough to get us silver deadeye and silver set shot specialist. And then we'll also put our 3-point shot up to a 75. Now, at a 75 3-point rating, you will get a pure green window. So if you're using rhythm shooting, you can definitely green your shots. Anything lower than a 75, you lose out on that pure green window. So don't go below 75 if you do want to change things up a little bit. But with rhythm shooting and the jump shot I'm going to show you guys, you'll be able to shoot lights out if you're open. Now, for our playmaking, I would have loved to have a higher pass accuracy, but we are going to get a 71 pass accuracy, which does get us silver dimer. In my opinion, 71 pass accuracy is the absolute minimum you should have on a build. 71, if you're smart, will serve you just fine. Just don't make stupid passes and you won't get stupid turnovers. But since we have a 99 driving dunk on this build, we want to have good handles so we can get ourselves open, we can get to the rim, which is why we have an 85 ball handle. Now, the reason we're doing an 85 ball handle is because it is the requirement for the mixtape takeover. And when you have the mixtape takeover, you get the takeover ability blur, which at 6'8" is absolutely insane. What the blur ability does is it enhances your ability to drive by defenders, making it easier to get to the rim. And that's an understatement. You'll just be able to run past people when you have this takeover, and that combined with the 99 dunk, you won't be guardable. Now, obviously putting your ball handle up to an 86 here would unlock ankle assassin on silver. So if you do unlock more cap breakers in the future, you could put it there, but honestly, ankle assassin, the badge is kind of you know, it's not the best, but it's definitely something worth having if you can get it. Now, to go along with the ball handle, we are going to have a 75 speed with ball, which is the requirement to get us lightning launch on silver. This would be a good spot to use your tier 1+1 on to get this up to gold, which on a 6'8" build would be absolutely incredible. Another spot you could put that tier 1+1 on would be set shot specialist to get that up to gold. The choice is yours, but I think I would prefer it to be on lightning launch on this build since you do have the 99 dunk. Well, let's skip down to our physicals here. Let's get that all sorted out. So we'll have an 85 speed, which at 6'8", absolutely incredible, especially if you use the slice takeover. You'll have, I think, a 92 or a 93 speed with that takeover. And we'll also have a 77 agility, which is the requirement to get a slippery off ball on gold. And then our strength, we'll put this up to a 73. That way we can get strong handle on gold. Now, like I said, this build is extremely athletic. Obviously, you got the 90 vertical, you got the 99 driving dunk. Now, to go along with that high vertical. I wanted to have a really high block on this build, so we're gonna have an 89 block. Now, you should have 9 or 10 cap breakers by now, so if you do, you want to use your last 4 cap breakers here to get your block up to a 93. And what that is going to do is get you high flying denier on Hall of Fame, and it's going to get you paint patroller on gold. Now, in order to get paint patroller on gold, you also need to have a 77 interior defense, which we will have on this build. And what I really like about being 6'8" is that these badges are all tier 2. So you'll be able to use your tier 2 +1 on paint patroller to get that up to Hall of Fame, and nobody is going to be able to score on you at the rim. We are going to have decent perimeter defense as well on this build. We'll have a 74 perimeter defense, which is going to give us all these bronze defensive badges. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get steel on this build. Steel, for some reason, is extremely expensive at 6'8". I even tried bringing the block all the way down to a 78 and then bringing my steel up, and it only gets it up to a 68, so it's not really worth doing. I would just keep the steel all the way down so you can have some fun with the crazy blocks that you'll get on this build. But you'll also be able to get some rebounds. You're going to have an 80 offensive rebound, which is the requirement for silver rebound chaser. And then we'll finish it off by throwing the last of our attribute points on free throw. And there you go. This is one of the most fun builds you can make in 2K right now. Now, for the takeovers, like I said before, I would either recommend using mixtape because of that blur takeover ability, or if you want the extra speed and agility, you could use slice, which also gives you the poster machine takeover ability, so you can just dunk on everyone. Now, here's the version of the build for the people who don't have cap breakers. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if you don't have cap breakers, this build is it's good, but it's not the best. If you don't have cap breakers, there's definitely better builds out there that you could make, but you would still have a lot of fun with this build. You still do get gold posterizer with the 93 dunk. Obviously, that's not anything close to a 99 dunk. You can still get the mixtape takeover with the 85 handles. You still get the really high blocking, which is really fun, but you're just missing out on that 99 driving dunk, which is kind of the main part of the build. So if you don't have cap breakers, I'd honestly recommend you make the 6'4" version I made in the last video that has no cap breakers. It's going to be a lot better, but obviously you won't be 6'8". So if you really want to be taller, then you could go with this. Now, here's the jump shot I'm using on really any build that's 6'5" to 6'9". We got the Tracy McGrady base, Troy Brown Jr. release 1, and Kyle Korver release 2, and I put the blending to push, and I have the release speed at B+. That's what I prefer, but you can get an A+ if you want to max out your release speed. All up to you, whatever you play better with, whatever you like better. And for the dunk animations, the only thing I would put on under the 2-foot moving dunks would be the elite contact dunks, and then under the 1-foot moving dunks, I would put on the pro contact dunks and the elite contact dunks off of 1. I also really like doing the cockback tomahawks, and then under double clutch, I also really like the side clutches off of 1. Those are very good. And then for the standing dunks, just make sure you equip both of the regular dunks. These are really good for if you're on the fast break, you catch a bad pass, you're stuck under the rim. Instead of going up for a really slow layup and getting blocked, you'll just go up for a quick little dunk. And for the signature dunks, I would use Kobe Bryant. You could use Michael Jordan if you are starter 4. Russell Westbrook is a really good one, and then also LeBron James. For alley-oops, I would just use Elite and Zion Williamson, and then you can use Pro Contact and Elite Contact for the contact alley-oops, and then I also like to throw on the flashy city alley-oops. And then these are the rest of the animations I would use on this build. Overall, it's just one of the most fun builds you can make in the game, in my opinion. So let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Let me know what build you want to see next, whether it's an NBA player or just whatever build style you want to see. Make sure to click that subscribe button, and here's the web. Peace.